Hello you lovely people, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name is Kirsten, this is where I art and craft. And today I've got a slightly different video from what I was planning. This is the final video on the exhibit wee mini journal photographic slides. I was going to show you the stitching in, and I was going to show you just putting the journal together. However, I've done it, but I've decided that I can't recommend you do this particular method on this size of journal. I decided I wanted to do an exposed spine, and this wasn't big enough for exposed spine, so I've had to tweak the way you would normally do an exposed spine to make sure that the signatures are connected to each other and that it's not all flippy flopping about the place. Because of that, I don't want to show you how I put it together. If you don't know how to do an exposed spine, it might confuse you when you then think, well, that's not how somebody else did it. This is not how I would recommend you do an exposed spine, but it's how I've done it to do this. And because I know what I'm doing with an exposed spine, I know that this will keep it nice and together. I hope you understand. I don't want to give you something that isn't correct and then you go and do it and get confused because somebody else is doing it a different way. Mention it below and I'll certainly do you a video on how to do an exposed spine. So what this is basically going to be, have a wee look round and a wee flip through. This is what I finally decided for the cover. This bit here is a bit of the wax paper, and I've put the little Julie's on, and I've put a little tag on here. I ended up putting this behind, and I've also got a back cover, and this is the wax paper on here. This is a strip of the wax paper down the side here as well. So I ended up putting two covers on rather than putting this cover underneath here. This is the spine I've done. I've used a bit of green material that kind of went with the colours, the dark green that was on here, and this is the kind of stitching that I've ended up doing there to make sure it's all close together. I've also used some more wax paper. I've added some wee bits of wax paper inside just to tie the fact that the wax paper is on the outside and also it's now on the inside. I'm just going to, the one thing I will say, if we go through to this first, if you remember, I hadn't stuck these together, and what's happened is I've sewn them in, and so the sewing of this signature is inside that page, that slide. So you don't see the sewing of the signature on the inside, which you do between because with an exposed spine you end up with this lovely flat, and you see the whatever you've used as your webbing material, and you see the stitches, but you don't see that in the centre of the signatures. So I'm going to set this to music and give you a flip through. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this very short little series. I'm sorry that this final one wasn't what it should have been. There is a link down below to the playlist. There's 3 videos in this wee series. A link to the kit, which is the exhibit 2025 from Tracie Fox Creative. Until next time, you take care. Keep crafting. Bye for now.